You think money is about some secret formula? You think there's some hidden strategy, some magical business model that's going to make you a millionaire? Let me break it to you right now. You're wrong. Money is 90% mindset. Strategy? Yeah, it matters, but it's the extra spice, not the meal. The strategy is the 10%. The mindset is the steak, the potatoes, the whole damn plate. Let me explain. I've met people with the best strategies in the world. Drop shipping, real estate, crypto, stocks, whatever. And guess what? They're broke. Why? Because they don't have the mindset to actually stick with it, to execute, to push when it's boring, when it's hard, when it looks like it's not working. Meanwhile, I've met guys with terrible strategies, straight up nonsense ideas, but they had the mindset of killers, and somehow they made it work. Why? Because mindset beats strategy every single time. See, everyone wants tactics. Everyone wants the 3-step guide to make $1 million. Everyone wants the secret sauce, but they ignore the truth. The secret sauce is you. You want to be a millionaire? Then you've got to think like one. You've got to believe like one. You've got to act like one before the money even shows up. Because let's be honest, most people don't even have the balls to try. Do you know why most people are broke? It's not because they don't know how to make money. Come on, we live in the internet age. You can Google how to make money and get 1 billion results in 0.1 seconds. You can learn how to code, how to invest, how to trade, how to build an online business, all free on YouTube. But people don't. They scroll TikTok. They laugh at cat videos. They jerk off and then complain they're broke. That's not a strategy problem. That's a mindset problem. See, here's the funny thing. You give two people the exact same strategy. Let's say it's starting an online business. You hand them the same tools, the same website, the same training. One of them becomes rich. The other fails. Why? Mindset. The rich one didn't quit after 3 weeks because it wasn't working. He didn't cry when he lost $500 testing ads. He didn't stop because someone told him it was risky. He had the mindset that said, I'm going to win no matter what. Even if this exact strategy fails, I'll adjust, pivot, adapt, but I will win. The other guy, he whined, he doubted, he quit. That's why he's broke. So if you want to be a millionaire, stop obsessing over the damn strategy. Focus on building the mindset first, because the strategy changes every year. Mindset, that's forever. Do you understand? Are you hearing me right now? Good, because this is where most people get it twisted. They're too busy looking for shortcuts when the only shortcut is actually building the mindset that refuses to quit. Let me tell you something funny. You could literally lock me in a random city tomorrow with no contacts, no money, no resources. And I promise you, within a year, I'll be making more than 99% of people living there. Why? Because I already have the mindset. Strategy, I'll figure it out. The internet is free. I'll adapt. I'll hustle. I'll win. That's the difference. So here's the brutal truth. If you're broke right now, it's not because you don't know enough strategies. It's because your mindset is trash. Fix that first. Now let's go deeper, because I know some of you still don't get it. You're still holding on to your little excuses. But don't worry. By the time I'm done with you, you'll understand why success is 90% mental, 10% strategy. Let's get one thing straight. You're not broke because you don't know enough. You're broke because you think like a broke person. And don't get defensive. I'm not insulting you. I'm describing reality. If you think poor, you live poor. Now, let me give you some facts to slap you awake. A survey by Ramsey Solutions showed that 79% of millionaires never inherited a dime. That means they didn't win the lottery. They didn't get daddy's money. They didn't get a lucky break. They built it. And do you know the top reason they gave for their success? Mindset, persistence, not strategy, not luck, not right place, right time, persistence. Are you getting it now? 8 out of 10 millionaires built themselves from scratch, not from money, but from mentality. Here's another one. Stanford University did a 20-year study called the marshmallow experiment. Kids were given one marshmallow and told, if you don't eat it now, you'll get 2 later. Guess who grew up to be more successful in life? The kids who waited. Why? Because they had self-control, discipline, long-term thinking. That's mindset, my friend. That's not strategy. A 7-year-old didn't have a business plan. He just had the mental toughness to say no to the marshmallow now so he could get 2 later. That's success in a nutshell. And yet, look at adults. Same thing. Most adults eat the marshmallow right away. They want the new iPhone instead of investing. They want Netflix instead of building skills. They want dopamine now instead of legacy later. That's why they're broke. Now let's talk about millionaire mindset. Do you know what the #1 trait of millionaires is? According to a Harvard Business Review survey, resilience, the ability to take hits and keep moving. Not genius IQ, not the perfect strategy, not a lucky break, resilience. Because let's face it, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And life punches hard. A broke mindset folds after the first punch. A millionaire mindset, he wipes the blood and keeps swinging. Let me make it funny for you. Imagine 2 guys start the same business. Guy A, broke mindset. He tries for 2 weeks, loses $200, says this is a scam, quits, goes back to Netflix. Guy B, millionaire mindset. He tries, fails, loses $200, says, all right, lesson learned, let's try again. He adapts, tries again and again until he wins. Now multiply that over 5 years. Guy A is still broke, complaining online. Guy B is making 200K plus because he didn't quit. That's not strategy. That's mindset. Let me hit you with another fact. The American Psychological Association found that 92% of people quit on their goals within the first month. 92%. You know why? Because their mindset is weak. They can't handle boredom. They can't handle discomfort. They can't handle silence. You want to be a millionaire? Then you've got to be in the 8% who don't quit. That's it. Stay in the game long enough, and you will eventually find a winning strategy. And I'll prove it to you. Look at billionaires. Elon Musk, failed companies before Tesla. Jeff Bezos, people laughed at Amazon in the beginning. J.K. Rowling, dozens of rejections before Harry Potter. The list is endless. What separated them from everyone else? Mindset. Not giving up when everyone else quits. So let's be crystal clear. Strategy matters, but mindset is what makes the strategy work. Because here's a fact. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. 7, not 1. That means they tried multiple things, built multiple systems, failed multiple times, and kept building. Now tell me, if they had a weak mindset, do you think they'd stick around long enough to build 7? Hell no. They'd quit after the first failure. So here's the raw truth you don't want to hear. Your life right now is a reflection of your mindset. If you're broke, it's because your brain is broke. If you're stuck, it's because your thoughts are stuck. And the only way out is to fix your damn mind. Let me ask you something simple. What the hell do you do every day? Because that's where the millionaire mindset is built. Not in one big moment, not in a lottery win, not in some magical aha business plan. It's built in the boring, repetitive daily grind. Everybody wants success to feel exciting. Newsflash, it doesn't. Success is boring. Success is doing the same discipline over and over when everyone else is taking shortcuts. Let me give you some perspective. University College London did a study and found it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit. Not 2 weeks, not 30 days, 66. That means 2 full months of doing the same thing consistently before your brain accepts it as normal. So let me ask, can you even go 2 months without breaking your word to yourself? Most of you can't, and that's why you're broke. Millionaires, they understand that discipline is freedom. They do the boring stuff daily until it becomes automatic. They wake up early. They invest consistently. They read instead of wasting hours on TikTok. They track their money. They train their body. They sharpen their mind. Let me put it in a savage way. If you can't even control your diet, your sleep, or your phone addiction, how the hell are you going to control millions of dollars? Let's talk facts again. Tom Corley, who spent 5 years studying the daily habits of 233 wealthy individuals for his book Rich Habits, found that 88% of self-made millionaires read at least 30 minutes a day on topics like self-improvement, business, or history. 76% exercised at least 4 days a week. 67% tracked their goals daily. Now compare that with the habits of the average person. They watch Netflix. They play video games. They gossip. They doom scroll Twitter. That's the difference. It's not that millionaires were handed secret knowledge. It's that their daily actions compound. Here's another funny one. Harvard Business Review found that people who wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve them. 42%. That's almost half. Yet how many of you have your goals written down, somewhere you can see every day? Probably none. And you wonder why you're stuck. You want the millionaire mindset? Here it is. Wake up early, not because it's trendy, but because winners start before the world. Move your body, because discipline in the gym translates to discipline in business. Learn every day, because ignorance is expensive. Write your goals because your brain needs direction. Track your progress because numbers don't lie. And let me throw this at you. Millionaires aren't motivated all the time. Motivation is for amateurs. Millionaires rely on systems, habits, and discipline. You think I feel like working every day? Hell no. Some days I don't want to get out of bed either. But I don't care how I feel, I do it anyway. That's the difference. Do you know why? Because feelings are temporary, but legacy is permanent. Let me give you an image. Imagine 2 versions of yourself. Version A wakes up late, hits snooze, eats junk, scrolls Instagram, complains, makes excuses. Version B wakes up, trains, reads, builds, invests, disciplines himself. Run those 2 versions for 10 years. Who's richer? Who's respected? Who has freedom? It's obvious. That's why habits matter. That's why mindset eats strategy for breakfast. Because here's another fact. The average person spends 3 hours a day on social media. Pew Research 2023. That's 1,095 hours a year. Basically 45 full days wasted. Now imagine if you used those hours to build a skill, a business, or a side hustle. Within a year, your whole life would be different. But people don't. They waste time, then cry about money. Millionaires don't do that. They guard their time like their life depends on it, because it does. So the next time you tell me you don't have time to become successful, I'll laugh in your face. You have time. You're just wasting it. The millionaire mindset is simple. Guard your time. Build discipline through habits. Think long-term. Do the boring work daily. That's it. Because if you can't master your daily habits, you'll never master millions. Let's get real. You can spot a broke mindset in 5 minutes of conversation. It leaks out of people. I'll give you some scenarios. If you see yourself in them, don't get offended, fix it. 1. Spending money. Broke mindset. That's too expensive. Millionaire mindset. How can I afford it? See the difference? The broke person immediately shuts down possibility. The millionaire asks, how can I make this happen? A study by Cambridge University showed that most people's money habits are locked in by age 7 years old. That's why so many adults are still running around with a broke kid's mentality, scared of money, thinking small. The broke guy sees a $1,000 course or investment and thinks, that's a scam, too risky. The millionaire sees the same $1,000 and thinks, if this skill makes me $10,000, it's the best deal of my life. Guess who stays broke? Broke mindset hangs around losers, complainers, party animals. Millionaire mindset surrounds themselves with killers, doers, thinkers. There's a famous quote, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's not just a quote. Harvard proved it. A 75-year study on happiness and success showed your close relationships directly affect your health, wealth, and lifespan. So if your 5 closest friends are broke, lazy, and unmotivated, congratulations, you're number 6. Millionaires know this. They cut off toxic people. They build networks. They sit in rooms where they're the dumbest person because that's how they grow. Meanwhile, broke people are still at the club, surrounded by other broke people talking about someday. 3. Risk. Broke mindset. What if I fail? Millionaire mindset. What if I never try? Let me hit you with a fact. Global Entrepreneurship Monitor found that fear of failure is the one reason people don't start businesses. Not money, not opportunity, not timing, fear. And here's the irony. Broke people think avoiding risk makes them safe. It doesn't. Playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do. You know what's risky? Staying in a job you hate, earning just enough to survive, hoping inflation doesn't eat you alive. That's risky. Millionaires embrace calculated risk. They know they might lose, but they also know they'll learn, adapt, and win in the long run. Broke people, they stay frozen, waiting for certainty that never comes. 4. Time. Broke mindset. I'll do it later. Millionaire mindset. I'll do it now. Time is the great equalizer. Everyone gets 24 hours a day. But here's the truth. Broke people treat their time like it's worthless. Millionaires treat time like it's gold. Wall Street Journal reported that millionaires are far more likely to outsource small tasks, cleaning, errands, busy work, because they value time over money. Broke people waste hours to save a few dollars, and then they wonder why they're stuck. 5. Entertainment. Broke mindset watches Netflix, plays video games, scrolls social media. Millionaire mindset studies, builds, invests, creates. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying millionaires don't have fun. They do, but they earn their fun. They work first, play later. Broke people play first and then cry later. The average American watches 3+ hours of TV per day, Nielsen 2023. That's over 1,000 hours a year. Imagine if you use those hours to build a business or skill. You'd be unstoppable. 6. Blame. Broke mindset. It's the government's fault. The system is against me. It's unfair. Millionaire mindset. It's on me. If it is to be, it's up to me. One mindset makes excuses. The other takes responsibility. And responsibility is power. If you think the world owes you something, you'll die waiting. If you take responsibility, you can change everything. That's the brutal difference. Broke people wait. Millionaires act. Broke people hope. Millionaires execute. Broke people complain. Millionaires adapt. It's not about money in your bank. It's about money in your head. And here's the kicker. Even if you stripped a millionaire of all their money, gave them nothing, and dropped them in a random city, they'd rebuild. Why? Because their mindset is already wired to win. Take a broke mindset person. Give them $1 million. They'll blow it and be broke again in 5 years. Sports Illustrated reported that 78% of NFL players are bankrupt or financially stressed within 2 years of retirement. Millions earned, millions gone. Why? Wrong mindset. Mindset is the foundation. Strategy is just decoration. Let's talk about the enemy. And no, it's not the government. It's not your boss. It's not your parents, your friends, or your partner. The biggest enemy you'll ever face is yourself. People love to imagine some external villain stopping them from success. But the truth, most people never get anywhere because they're too busy fighting inside their own head. Let's break down the 3 killers of dreams. Fear, self-doubt, and procrastination. Fear. It's your brain exaggerating the downside and ignoring the upside. A University of Minnesota study showed that 85% of the things people worry about never actually happen. And the 15% that do, most people handle them better than they expected. Think about that. Most of your fear is fiction. It's a movie playing in your head, but people let this imaginary movie chain them to mediocrity. Millionaire mindset, they feel fear, but they act anyway. That's the difference. Courage isn't about not being scared. It's about moving forward while you're scared. Broke mindset, they feel fear and they freeze. They wait. They rationalize. And waiting is death. Self-doubt. Here's another one. That little voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, you'll fail. People will laugh. Do you know how many businesses, books, songs, inventions, and ideas never saw the light of day because of that voice? Millions. Psychology Today reported that imposter syndrome affects over 70% of people at some point in their lives, even highly successful ones. The difference? Successful people don't let it stop them. They think, maybe I'm not ready, maybe I'm not the smartest, but I'll figure it out. Broke mindset? They think, I'll start when I feel confident. Spoiler alert, that day never comes. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. You earn confidence by doing, failing, learning, and growing. Procrastination, the silent killer, the thief of dreams. Tomorrow, I'll start Monday. I'll wait until New Year. You know how many people's goals are buried in the cemetery of someday? Too many. Here's a brutal fact. National Bureau of Economic Research found that procrastination can reduce lifetime earnings by over 20%. Not because people aren't talented, but because they delay action until opportunities vanish. Procrastination is comfort in disguise. It feels harmless. I'll do it later, but it's deadly. Millionaire mindset kills procrastination with urgency. They don't wait for motivation. They build discipline. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. They ask, what can I do right now? Then they do it. Not tomorrow. Now. The fight inside you. Let me paint the picture. Every day there's a battle in your head. One side is fear, self-doubt, and procrastination, whispering to stay safe, play small, take it easy. The other side is courage, self-belief, and discipline, pushing you to go harder, dream bigger, act now. Which side wins? The one you feed. Broke mindset feeds the wrong side. They give in to fear, doubt, and delay. Millionaire mindset feeds the right side. They starve their excuses and fuel their execution. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. You can't kill fear, self-doubt, or procrastination permanently. They don't disappear. They'll always be lurking, but you can beat them every day. Like going to the gym, you don't get fit once and stay fit forever. You show up daily. That's what discipline is. Showing up even when you don't feel like it. Most people think success is about strategies, hacks, and secret formulas. No, success is about conquering yourself. If you win the battle in your head, you'll win everywhere else. And if you lose that battle, no strategy in the world can save you. Here's the raw truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody says, I'm going to be a millionaire. But let me ask you something. Do your daily actions look like someone on the path to millions? Usually the answer is hell no, because people think millionaire mindset is some big dramatic shift. It's not. It's in the little things. The daily grind, the micro decisions that compound over time. Let's break it down. Morning, broke mindset. Wakes up late, scrolls their phone, hits snooze. Millionaire mindset, wakes up with purpose. Do you know how much of your day is ruined by your first 30 minutes? Psychologists at the University of Nottingham found that the first 20-30 minutes after waking strongly influence your productivity levels for the rest of the day. You wake up and instantly consume garbage on your phone? Congratulations, you've already told your brain, today I'm reactive, not proactive. Millionaires guard their mornings. They set routines, workout, reading, planning, gratitude, whatever it is, they start with intention. Health, broke mindset, I don't have time to exercise. Eating healthy is too expensive. Millionaire mindset, my body is the engine. If it's weak, everything is weak. Here's a fact. Harvard Business Review found that regular exercise improves work performance, memory, and focus. It literally makes you smarter and more productive. Broke mindset treats their body like trash, then wonders why they're tired, lazy, and unfocused. Millionaires treat their body like an asset. Learning. Broke mindset, I already know enough. Millionaire mindset, I'm always a student. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, reads 5-6 hours a day. Bill Gates reads about 50 books a year. Meanwhile, broke people are binge-watching Netflix or TikTok. One expands their mind, the other numbs it. Guess who wins? And here's the kicker. Stanford University found that continuous learners are 47% more likely to adapt to industry changes and succeed long-term. The world is moving fast. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. Money. Broke mindset, spends first, saves later. Millionaire mindset, saves and invests first, spends later. National Endowment for Financial Education reports that 70% of people who suddenly get rich, lottery winners, inheritances, etc., lose it within a few years. Why? Because they never reprogram their relationship with money. Millionaires don't just earn money, they control money. Every dollar has a purpose. It works for them. Broke mindset treats money like a hot potato. The second they get it, it's gone. Time management. Broke mindset, busy but unproductive. Millionaire mindset, productive, not just busy. There's a difference. Broke people confuse movement with progress. They're always running around working, but nothing meaningful gets done. Millionaires know how to prioritize. They ask, what are the 2-3 things today that will actually move me closer to my goal? Then they focus. The Pareto principle, 80-20 rule, proves this. 80% of results come from 20% of actions. Millionaires obsess over finding that 20%. Broke mindset wastes time on the 80%. Environment. Broke mindset, chaos. Messy desk, messy car, messy mind. Millionaire mindset, order. This might sound silly, but Princeton University neuroscience research proved that clutter reduces your brain's ability to focus and process information. When your space is a mess, your head is a mess. Millionaire Mindset creates an environment that supports productivity, not fights it. Habits. Here's the final hammer. Small habits compound like interest. You skip one workout, no big deal. You skip 300 workouts, big deal. You waste 30 minutes today, whatever. You waste 1,000 hours a year, that's your dream gone. Success is boring. It's not fireworks, it's repetition. Doing the right thing again and again until it compounds into results. That's what broke people don't get. They want the big win, the quick hack, the shortcut. Millionaires, they play the long game. They trust the compound effect. Duke University research found that over 40% of daily actions are habits, not conscious decisions, which means your life today is basically your habits on autopilot. You want a millionaire life? Build millionaire habits. Let me put it this way. Your mindset creates your habits. Your habits create your results. Your results create your life. If you don't reprogram the daily, you'll never reprogram your destiny. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. But here's what nobody wants to hear. You're going to have to give a lot of shut up. You don't build a millionaire mindset while living like everyone else. You don't keep all your comforts, all your distractions, all your fun, and magically end up rich. It doesn't work that way. Sleep, broke mindset, I need my 10 hours, I love my bed. Millionaire mindset, sleep is fuel, not a hobby. National Sleep Foundation reports most adults need 7-9 hours. Cool. But most broke people oversleep. 10, 11, sometimes 12 hours, then wonder why they're broke. Elon Musk said during Tesla's grind years he was sleeping on the factory floor and pulling 80 100-hour weeks. Not because it was comfortable, but because sacrifice was necessary. Does that mean millionaires never sleep? No. It means they control their sleep. They sacrifice the extra, the lazy mornings, the snooze button. Partying broke mindset, weekends escape. Clubs, drinking, wasted time. Millionaire mindset, weekends opportunity. According to Forbes, the average millionaire reads 30 minutes a day, networks constantly, and spends weekends on growth. Broke people spend weekends drunk, hungover, or binge-watching Netflix. Millionaires spend weekends building. You can't have both. You either sacrifice short-term fun or you sacrifice long-term success. Pick one. Friends, this one hurts. Broke mindset, I've known them forever. I can't cut them off. Millionaire mindset, if they're holding me back, they're gone. Harvard's 75-year study showed that your relationships are the strongest predictor of your future. If your circle is full of losers, complainers, and quitters, they'll drag you down with them, period. Millionaires sacrifice comfort for growth. Sometimes that means leaving behind old friends. It sucks, but it's necessary. Comfort, broke mindset. I want to relax. Millionaire mindset. Comfort is a trap. Here's the brutal fact. Every successful person you admire went through years of discomfort, years of grind, years of stress, rejection, and failure. Angela Duckworth's research on grit found that persistence matters more than talent for success, and persistence means suffering, choosing discomfort when others choose comfort. Millionaires sacrifice comfort today to buy freedom tomorrow. Broke people choose comfort today and stay trapped forever. Entertainment, broke mindset. I need to unwind. Millionaire mindset. I'll unwind when I've earned it. The average American spends 2.5 hours a day on social media. Data Reportal 2023. That's nearly 900 hours a year. You know what 900 hours is? That's enough time to start a business, write a book, learn a new skill, or completely transform your body. Millionaires sacrifice endless entertainment. They cut the junk and replace it with creation, not consumption. Excuses. And here's the biggest one. Broke mindset. I'll start when. Millionaire mindset. I'll start now. Excuses feel safe. They feel justified, but they kill dreams faster than anything else. Millionaires sacrifice excuses. They own their results. If something goes wrong, they don't cry, they adapt. You see the pattern? Every sacrifice looks painful in the moment. But what's more painful? Losing a few nights of sleep, or losing your entire life to mediocrity, missing out on some parties, or being broke forever, cutting off toxic friends, or staying trapped in the same dead-end cycle for decades. The broke mindset sacrifices the future for comfort now. The millionaire mindset sacrifices comfort now for freedom in the future. And here's the real kicker. Once you embrace sacrifice, it doesn't feel like sacrifice anymore. It feels like investment. Let me tell you something nobody wants to admit. You're going to fail. Not once, not twice, over and over. Every entrepreneur, every millionaire, every overnight success you admire, they all got kicked in the teeth by failure. The difference? They didn't stay down. Failure isn't the end. It's the fucking tuition you pay for success. The data on failure. A Harvard Business School study showed that entrepreneurs who fail once are more likely to succeed on their second try than first-timers. Why? Because failure teaches faster than any book, podcast, or coach. Thomas Edison famously said, "I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that didn't work." That's resilience. And it's not just a motivational quote. Neuroscience backs it. University of Toronto research shows that failure actually strengthens your brain's problem-solving circuits if you respond with persistence instead of quitting. So biologically, every time you fail and keep going, you're literally rewiring yourself to become stronger. Broke versus millionaire response to failure. Broke mindset. fails once, quits forever. Millionaire mindset, fails 100 times, learns 100 lessons, keeps going. Broke people treat failure as proof they're not good enough. Millionaires treat failure as feedback. Here's the truth. You can't Google your way to success. You have to bleed for it. You have to put your pride on the line. Try, fall, get back up, and repeat. That's resilience. The psychology of resilience. Resilience isn't natural. It's trained. You build it like a muscle. American Psychological Association defines resilience as the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, or stress. And here's the key. It's not about avoiding stress. It's about leaning into it and bouncing back. Millionaire mindset welcomes stress. They know stress growth. Broke mindset avoids stress. They think comfort, safety. Spoiler, it's not. The bounce back rule. Let me give you a brutal rule I live by. Never take more than 24 hours to bounce back from failure. You lost money? Fine. Cry for 10 minutes, then get back to work. You got rejected? Cool. Shake it off, send the next email, make the next call. You embarrassed yourself? Good. At least you tried. Now try again. The faster you recover, the faster you grow. A Stanford study showed that people who reframe failure as temporary and specific, not permanent and personal, are dramatically more likely to succeed long-term. So here's the secret. Stop saying I failed. Start saying that attempt failed. I'll try again. Stories of resilience. Let me hit you with some examples. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter. Imagine if she quit at 11. Colonel Sanders was rejected by over 1,000 restaurants before KFC took off. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. You think he sat in his room crying? No, he turned it into fuel. Millionaires turn setbacks into comebacks. The funny truth about failure. Here's the irony. Broke people laugh at failures. Oh, look, he started a business and lost money. Ha! Oh, she tried YouTube and nobody watched. LOL. You know who's really laughing? The millionaires, all the way to the bank, because they kept failing forward until they won. Failure is just proof you're in the arena, while everyone else is sitting in the stands talking shit. You want a millionaire mindset? You stop fearing failure and start fearing regret, because failure hurts, but regret haunts. So here we are. We've broken down fear, habits, resilience, sacrifice, all of it. And I'll tell you the truth in one line. Success is 90% mindset, 10% strategy. You can learn the strategies on Google. You can copy business models, download templates, hire consultants, but none of that shit matters if your head isn't right. Because if your mindset is weak, the best strategy in the world won't save you. But if your mindset is strong, even the dumbest strategy will eventually work. That's why broke people stay broke. They want shortcuts, hacks, easy wins. They want strategy without the mindset. And that's like trying to build a skyscraper on sand. It collapses every time. Millionaires, they build the foundation first. They harden their mindset until it's unbreakable. Then they stack strategy on top. That's why they win. Let me hit you with the deeper truth. Money is cool. Freedom is cool. Cars, houses, watches, all fun. But your real wealth, your legacy, what are people going to say when you're gone? He worked a job he hated for 40 years and watched a lot of Netflix. Or that man changed his family's future. That woman built something that mattered. Legacy isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the dark, in the nights you sacrifice, in the mornings you grind, in the moments nobody is clapping for you, nobody is watching, nobody is cheering. That's where greatness is born. A University of Chicago study showed that people who connect their goals to a higher purpose, legacy, contribution, impact, stick with them far longer than people chasing shallow goals. That's the secret. Millionaires don't just chase money, they chase meaning. So here's the choice. You can stay comfortable, keep making excuses, keep blaming, keep waiting, and in 10 years you'll be the same person, in the same place, broke, bitter, and full of regret. Or you can flip the switch. You can decide right now to reprogram your mind, to sacrifice, to fail and get back up, to build discipline, to grind in silence, to chase legacy. Nobody's coming to save you. Not the government, not luck, not some magical business idea. It's you. It's always been you. So stop waiting. Stop scrolling. Stop saying someday. Millionaire mindset isn't about money in your wallet. It's about money in your head. It's about becoming the kind of person who wins no matter what. And when you become that person, money follows, freedom follows, legacy follows. So let me leave you with this. Your life is the sum of your choices. Your future is being built right now in the dark. And one day when the lights turn on, the world will see what you built. Question is, will they see a masterpiece or just another excuse? The choice is yours.